Point 1, you stop chasing because you finally see what actually works. Most men think the answer is to try harder. So they do more, they send more messages, they reply faster, they give more attention, they try to always be available. They believe if they just do enough, she will stay. At first, it feels right. You're putting in effort. You're showing interest. You're trying to build something real. But slowly, something starts to feel off. Her replies become shorter. Her energy feels different. She's not as excited as before, and you don't understand why. So you do even more effort, more attention, more trying, but that only makes it worse. Because here's the truth most men don't see: chasing doesn't build attraction. It often kills it, not because effort is bad, but because unbalanced effort creates pressure. It makes things feel forced. And when something feels forced, it loses its natural connection. That's when overthinking starts. You start questioning everything. Why is she acting different? Did I do something wrong? Should I text again? And without realizing it, you lose your calm, your energy becomes unstable, and that's what she actually feels. Not your words, not your effort, your energy. Now here's where everything changes. The moment you truly understand women, you stop trying to do more. And you start focusing on doing things right. You give attention, but not from neediness. You show interest, but not from fear of losing her. You stay present, but you don't chase. Because now you understand something deeper. Attraction grows in space, not pressure. When you're calm, when you're consistent, when you're not forcing anything, she feels it. There's no tension, no confusion, no emotional pressure, just clarity, and that's what makes her move closer naturally. Because now you're not chasing her attention, you're allowing the connection to build. And that shift is where most men lose and a few finally understand what actually works. You start reading energy, not just words. Before understanding women, most men focus only on what is said. They listen to the words, they read the messages. They take everything at face value. If she says, "I'm fine," they believe she's fine. If she replies, "Okay," they think everything is normal. If she says, "I'm just busy," they accept it without thinking deeper, but something still feels confusing. Because her words say one thing and her behavior feels different, and that's where most men get lost. They keep trying to figure things out using logic, while ignoring what they are actually feeling in the interaction. But the moment you start understanding women, your focus shifts. You stop relying only on words, and you start noticing energy. The way she responds, not just what she says. The effort behind her replies, not just the message itself. The timing, the tone, the engagement. Because words can be controlled, people choose what to say, but energy is much harder to fake. It shows in small ways: how quickly she responds when she's interested, how she keeps the conversation going without effort, how she asks questions back instead of just answering yours. And on the other side, you also start noticing when things change. When replies become shorter, when the conversation feels one-sided, when the effort slowly drops, not suddenly, but gradually. And this is important. You don't panic when you notice it. You don't overreact. You don't chase harder. Because now you understand this is information, not rejection. Energy tells you where you stand in real time. It shows you if she's moving closer or slowly pulling back. And instead of forcing things, you adjust. You match the energy. You stay calm. You don't try to convince someone to feel something they're not feeling. Because real connection doesn't need pressure. It shows itself naturally through effort and engagement. And here's the biggest shift. You stop asking, "What should I say next?" and you start asking, "What is she showing me right now?" That one change saves you from confusion, saves you from overthinking, and most importantly, saves you from investing in the wrong direction. Because when you understand energy, you don't chase words anymore. You understand reality. You become calm instead of reactive. Before understanding women, most men react too quickly. A late reply and they start overthinking. A short message and their mood changes. A small shift in behavior and they feel something is wrong. Everything feels urgent. They feel the need to respond fast, to fix things, to say the right words before it's too late. And without realizing it, they lose control over their own emotions. Their mood starts depending on her behavior. If she's warm, they feel good. If she's distant, they feel anxious, and that creates a problem, because now you're not leading your own energy, you're reacting to hers. But the moment you truly understand women, that changes. You slow down, you don't rush to respond to every small shift. You don't assume the worst from one message. You don't let one moment control your mindset. You observe first. Then you respond, because you understand something deeper. Not every change in her mood is about you. Sometimes she's tired, sometimes she's distracted, sometimes she just needs space, and reacting emotionally to every small thing only creates unnecessary tension. So instead, you stay grounded, your tone stays the same, your behavior stays steady, your energy doesn't spike up and down. And that calmness is powerful, because when you don't react instantly, you create space, and in that space, you think clearly. You respond with intention, not emotion, and that changes how she experiences you. You don't feel desperate. You don't feel unstable. You don't feel pressured. You feel controlled, not controlling her, but in control of yourself. And that's rare. Most people react. Very few people stay centered. And when a woman feels that you are calm, that your emotions are not easily shaken, that your presence is stable, she relaxes. Because now she's not dealing with someone unpredictable. She's dealing with someone grounded, and that builds a different kind of attraction. Not loud, not dramatic, but deep. Because in a world where most people react emotionally, the one who stays calm stands out without trying. You focus on how she feels, not how you look. Before understanding women, most men focus on themselves, how they sound, how they look, what they should say next. How to impress her. Everything becomes performance. They try to be interesting. They try to be perfect. They try to say the right things, but in doing that, they forget one simple thing. It's not about you. It's about her experience with you, because a woman is not sitting there analyzing your lines. She's feeling the interaction. Does it feel easy or forced? Does it feel calm or pressured? Does it feel real, or like you're trying too hard? That's what she remembers, not your exact words, not your effort, just the feeling, and this is where everything changes. When you understand women, you stop focusing on how to impress her, and you start focusing on how she feels around you. You listen more, you stay present, you don't rush the moment, you don't try to fill every silence, you don't try to prove your value every second. You allow the interaction to breathe, because connection is not built by pressure, it's built by comfort. And when she feels comfortable, she opens up naturally, she invests without being asked, she stays without being convinced. Because now the experience feels good, not forced. And here's the truth most men miss. You don't lose her because you didn't try hard enough. You lose her because the interaction didn't feel right. Too much pressure, too much trying, too much need to impress. And that slowly kills the connection. That's why sometimes less effort, done the right way, creates more impact than trying too hard. Because now your presence feels real, not calculated, not forced, just natural, and that's rare. Most men try to be impressive. Very few make a woman feel comfortable, and comfort is what turns interest into connection, and connection into something that actually lasts.